Hey, can you name the first matchup, Niners, Cowboys, when it was and what stadium?
Well, I could look at it. I
hate the game music.
Yeah, I would say this. Did they meet in Texas?
The Cotton
Bowl in Dallas, Texas.
In 1960, the inaugural season for the Cowboys. The Cowboys were in the midst of losing 9
they were terrible.
of 10 straight losses to start the season, and the Niners win 26-14.
It was the old Cotton Bowl where they used to play. And the Dallas Texans, I believe, played there, too, for a little bit. The old Cotton Bowl, which will host Oklahoma, Texas in a Red River Shootout Saturday, 9 a.m. What do they call it? The Texas State Fair or something like that?
Yeah, and it feels like if you just look at the history, in the 60s, the Niners were 3-1-1. In the 70s, this is against each other, head-to-head. The Cowboys dominated. Yep. They were 6-1 in the 70s. Well, rightfully, they went to a zillion Super Bowls. And in the 80s, the Niners dominated, 5-1. The 90s were a little more split than I remember. The Niners won 5 out of and lost 4. In the 2000s, Cowboys 3-2. 2010s, Cowboys again, 3-1. And then in the 2020s, the Niners are 2-1. So it is 19-19-1 overall. I love this. I love that this is a matchup again.
Well, I love that it's a rivalry again. Because for a while, there were some dark days with the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys were dominant in the 2000s, especially later in the 2000s when they did meet. But they stopped meeting every single season, with the schedule and whether or not you finish in 4th place in the division, if somebody finishes in 3rd place. So the matchups wasn't there.
Yes.
And I remember Dwight Clark Day. They hosted the Dallas Cowboys. And that, to me, was like rock bottom. Eric Reed was playing middle linebacker in that football game.
Oh, my God.
And they got destroyed. Ezekiel Elliott looked like Eric Dickerson. They did whatever they wanted to the 49ers that day. What was the score in that game? Was it 40-10 or something like that? And it was Dwight Clark Day.
Yeah.
And it was the last time we got to see him in public, and he was on the screen. He could barely talk. ALS was kicking his ass. And finally, I started tearing up. I remember that. I said, man, the Niners are getting their butts kicked. And it happened later. I think that same season, Eddie DeBartolo got honored at halftime, and it was raining that day. And I was just like, fine, this is an omen of where this organization's at. But the Cowboys came to Levi's, and they destroyed them.
Yes.
Destroyed them. But Dwight Clark said one last thing. The camera panned back to him. He said one last thing, and I broke down. I had to go to the bathroom. And just was like, I can't let nobody see me crying like this. But they were destroying the Niners. I'm like, I can't wait for the Niners to be good again. I cannot wait. And here we are. So getting that, because I never got to go to the Dallas Niners games as a kid, flying down to Texas for that wild card game, you felt it. I said, boy, it's back.
Is that the greatest road game for you as a fan?
That was it, man. That was great. That was awesome. Like the Warriors in Boston, just in football. That was great. I mean, the Warriors in Boston, seeing them win game 4.
Yeah.
But I was outside. By the time the 4th quarter happened, we're at the Converse All-Star shop across the street from TD Garden because we had to get ready for the post-game show. But that Dallas game, going down to Jerry's World. Because remember, October 22nd, there it is, 2017, Shanahan's first year. They got beat 40-10, Shasky. 40-10 to drop the Niners to 0-7. They hadn't even won a game yet that season. Shanahan had yet to win his first game as head coach. They get beat 40-10. C.J. Beathard's playing in a football game. 40-10. Dak Prescott, 16-25. 16-25, 234, 3 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott took his day out. 1 catch, 72 yards for a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
26 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rod Smith had 8 carries for 61 yards. I don't even know who the hell that is. And I'm not talking about Rod Smith, the receiver for the Denver Broncos. Des Bryant, 7 for 63. I mean, they just got killed that day on Dwight Clark Day. And I'm thinking, I can't wait for the Niners to be good again, if they can be good again. And going down to Jerry's World and seeing those red jerseys in Jerry's World, I don't know what that sound is loud, right? The rivalry's all the way back, and I think the NFL's better for it. And now to see them on Sunday Night Football, Niners and Cowboys, dust setting at Levi's Stadium, sign me up for it.
So for you, is that playoff game that you attended, is that memory number 1?
For Niners Cowboys?
Yeah, of all the memories.
Yeah, that is for me.
For you.
I mean, no. Because I remember all the losses in the early 90s. Crying in a car when they came to Candlestick Park and beat the Niners in 92, 30-20.
Yeah.
I cried. The next year, the Niners go down to Texas Stadium, and I don't even have the scores up. I don't even have the scores up. 37-21. The next year at Texas Stadium, they didn't even have a shot.
No, they looked completely outclassed.
And I remember my mom walking around saying, "Boy, the Cowboys, they got nothing on them." And then, of course, 94, when the Niners finally beat them in the regular season, and then the NFC title game, and Steve Young ran around Candlestick Park with the ball up in the air, and he was like, "That was the Super Bowl," because San Diego had no shot.
So you put all these playoff games way ahead of even the T.O. moment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even the year after when he scored the touchdown in the final minutes and went into the tiny star of the helmet?
Yeah, absolutely. When Dave Campo decided to go for a field goal instead of going for it on 4th and 1 or something like that.
I mean, it's hard to jump over any of the playoff moments and the NFC Championship game moments. That T.O. moment, though, it's pretty incredible because it felt like for a large generation of fans that were, dying to get back to a Super Bowl, that felt like one of those moments that you'll remember forever, even though it happened in the regular season. Because, like, seeing the teams fight, seeing Emmitt Smith slam that ball down, I don't know, man.
It's a regular season game.
I know.
It's a regular season game. Dak running the ball in that wild card game and not being able to spike it.
Oh, that was incredible.
Right?
Incredible.
Last year
was Zeke hiking the ball. They called timeout, and then Zeke goes and hikes it again.
I mean,
that
it's
ending
great.
Last year was great.
And so the Cowboys now. It's the Cowboys now. By the way, the Niners have played in 18 games. 18, I see a lot of text right here.
Oh, did I misspeak? I said they've won 7.
Said they won 7. Yeah, they won 7.
My bad. I must have misspoke.
No, you good. No, you good.
Won 7 NFC
I don't want to shortchange us on 18 NC title game appearances. That's incredible.
But what I was getting at was that the Cowboys have won.
Right. They've won 8.
And I think I didn't say that properly.
They're 5-3 in the Super Bowl. No, the Cowboys are 5-3 in the Super Bowl. Niners 5-2 in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
But now the Cowboys are on the other side of getting their clocks cleaned. And this game may be more important for their psyche. Here's Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan with our boys R.J. Sean and Bobby Boucher.
God, I wish we could get Jerry Jones.
They are right now probably the most likely team to go in the Super Bowl. And but in order for them to get there, they've got to go by us, hopefully 2 times, if that's the way it falls in the playoffs. And we're in the playoffs, of course. But the bottom line is that you're playing the best. This is certainly, you don't need the game to tell you that you're playing the best, but you need the game to show you how you stack up against the best.
How you stack up against the best. And then he followed up on seeing the 49ers again later down the line.
We're going to have to go by them Sunday, and if we have aspirations, I think we'll have to go by them again later in the year.
That's Jerry Jones.
Do you think he really believes that? And he's truly respecting the Niners? Or do you think that there's some subtle shade to the Eagles because they're in their division?
What I have a problem with is that Joe Buck was the only guy to say, Philadelphia right now is number 1. And even as a Niner fan, and the Niners are playing great football, I get Philadelphia has been slow out of the blocks.
No, Philly's still the top dog to me.
They're the top dog.
I agree
They're
with
number
you.
1.
Yeah.
They presented challenge to the 49ers that no other team can do outside of the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, which is they have premium wide receivers who could give our secondary a lot of problems in a potential game.
You earn the equity when you win the playoff game, and you earn the equity when you perform the way they did in the Super Bowl. They have the grace period to have ugly start to the ugly. They're 4-0. They have the grace period, and to me, they've earned the equity of the benefit of the doubt.
No doubt. And for Jerry Jones to just dismiss the Eagles
is interesting.
He's in the NFC East. You really think he got a shot against the Eagles, Jerry Jones? With this roster? Like, Jerry Jones putting the Niners and the Cowboys on a pedestal and forgetting about Philadelphia. But it also tells me that he knows San Francisco. Like, Michael Parsons was talking. I was listening to Richard Sherman. And Michael Parsons said after that playoff game, the wild card game, it took his body 2 weeks to recover.
I did.
Because that's how physical the 49ers are. They're physical at wide receiver when it comes to running blocking. Mm-hmm. They're physical at the line of scrimmage. They're physical when it comes to fullbacks. So you're going to have to outlast the 49ers by hitting.